Okay, I don't know if you remember like a couple videos ago when I was saying I was excited because there was all these creature features coming out in like February and stuff, and it was going to be a good month. You know, I was going to do like a whole video roundup of all these creature feature movies because they all look good. Fooled me again. Welcome to Happywax TV. Okay, I'm going to keep this one super short. I'm just going to gloss over the movies and give you my quick opinion, and that's it, because the majority of these movies are terrible. They are, and they fooled me because the three that are terrible are creature features, and I don't know, somehow I thought they were going to be good, and I spent more time on my phone playing Clash Golf than I did watch it. Just, oh my. Anyways, listen, let's just get into it. Okay, so before we even get going, the first movie I'm going to talk about quickly, and it's not a creature feature, but it's a movie that, listen, don't just go watch this movie. You don't even have to finish this video, okay? I'm a huge fan of poster art, okay? It's something that draws me in to want to watch a movie. Now, when I saw the poster for this movie, The Leech, it didn't do anything for me. I thought, no, you know what? This is just going to be one of these movies where it's like an up-and-coming director who's trying really hard, but the movie's terrible. You know, the script's probably going to be garbage. The acting's horrible. You know, first-timer sort of thing, even though he's had a few movies out. I'm like, no, I'll just pass on this one. And then again, I have to thank you guys, the subscribers, because I had a ton of you ask me if I'd seen this movie and my opinion on it, and was I going to review it? And I was like, what is the fucking deal with this movie? Like, I just couldn't get past the poster. You know what I mean? It just wasn't drawing me in. But holy shit, I have to say thank you guys. Like, honestly, The Leech is one of the best movies I've seen this year. Man, oh man, like it's not gonna blow you away, but I guarantee when it's over, you're gonna fucking love it. I can't see how you won't. Basically, let me read the synopsis. A devoted priest welcomes a struggling couple into his house at Christmas time. What begins as a simple act of kindness quickly becomes the ultimate test of faith once the sanctity of his home is jeopardized. Okay, well, this movie is written and directed by Eric Pennycoff. And I'll tell you, Graham Skipper plays the priest, okay? And Jeremy Gardner is this homeless guy that he kind of takes in. When he's leaving his church the one day, he actually kicks the guy out of the church because he's sleeping in the pews. And then he sees him out on the street and he says, you know what, why don't you just come to my house for the night or whatever? And he ends up staying listen, I don't want to tell you anything about this movie. You can watch the trailer if you want, okay? But goddamn, like, you do not get acting and storytelling this good in this budget of a film. Like, it's fantastic. And again, I'm just going to go back to a review I did, well, my last review of Cocaine Bear, how you can get like a pile of shit movie like Cocaine Bear that can be released theatrically, okay? And it's just absolute fucking garbage. Yet you have, like, this movie is absolutely brilliant. And there's going to be so many people, me included, because I was going to pass on it just because the poster just didn't suck me in. Like, how is this not getting a theatrical release? This movie is fucking fantastic. I don't get it. So, not that all movies have to go to the theater, but it's just, you know, when you sit through a movie like Cocaine Bear or Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, which I'm going to talk about next, and they're just piles of shit, and they get theatrical releases. You know, once in a while it happens, like Terrifier and Terrifier 2, although Terrifier 2 got a big theatrical release, which was fantastic because that movie was banging. But anyways, listen, The Leech, I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not really going to say anything about it. All I'm going to do is say thank you to you guys for letting me know about this film. Just watch it. I mean, the acting is absolutely fantastic. It's funny when it needs to be funny. You know, the lines hit the mark when they need to hit the mark. It's unnerving when it needs to be unnerving, you know, and unsettling when it has to be. And then the ending is just, you know, just again, remember this movie was made on a shoestring budget too. So, and it's absolutely brilliant. I have nothing but praise about this movie. So definitely, out of all the movies I'm going to talk about, go watch this one. Okay, don't even watch the other four I'm going to talk about because whatever. Maybe Sorry About the Demons. I'll talk about that one next. But listen, shut this video off. Go watch The Leech, and then let me know what you thought of it down below because I fucking loved it. Okay, so another movie very quickly. Sorry About the Demons. It's on Shudder. I saw the trailer for this, and I thought, okay, you know, this looks okay. You know, it's whatever. And I'll tell you, for the first half an hour of this movie, I just about shut it off. Okay, I honestly did. It's an hour and 50 minutes, which is kind of too long. It could be trimmed down a little bit, but for the first half hour of this movie, I thought this is going nowhere. Like, and it's not funny, and it's not really sucking me in. And I was paying attention. Okay, I had my phone on the ready, but I said no, I want to give this one a chance. But there's something that happens. I don't know the exact time. I forgot I should have looked at the timestamp on my screen, but I don't know, something just clicked. And then this movie started to grab traction and get going. And by the end of it, I thought it was fucking fantastic. So you have to give this movie a chance. Basically, I'll read the synopsis. A young man struggling with a broken heart learns that his new place is full of restless spirits. Okay. Well, basically, John Michael Simpson, who plays Will, breaks up with his girlfriend. Well, actually, his girlfriend dumps him. He's kind of a selfish, kind of unmotivated loser, okay? And I don't know exactly what his job title is, but he works for this toothpaste company, and he works from home. And when you have issues with the toothpaste, you call him. He's kind of like customer service, I guess. But his character is smartly written, and he does a great job showing that of how it's, how he's supposed to be, have this selfish attitude, and his girlfriend gets a promotion, and he doesn't go to her party because really he just doesn't care, but he makes it sound like he's dedicated to this job working for this fucking toothpaste company. And that's kind of where the movie opens, and we see them break up, and then he goes and he has to find a rental place. So he finds this house, and then we see this family in the first act. They bought this house, but they find out that it's possessed by a demon who wants to take hold of one of the children so it can come into our realm, right? So the family works a deal out with this demon where if they get somebody else in that, the demon can encompass this body, and then it'll leave their family alone. So they move out and put this house up for rent, and then Will moves in, and then that's kind of where the story picks up and gets going, is when he confronts this demon, and then his friends are there, and they don't believe him. And then they bring in, one of his friends who is kind of like a median, and then they have to deal. It's just, I don't want to say too much about it. I am saying give this one a watch. I really did like it. The first half hour was kind of a trek to get through, but once you get past that half hour, like I said, it kind of picks up momentum. And I actually ended up really liking this movie. I thought the characters were great. The character development was really good. It's a tad bit too long, but whatever. It's on Shudder, you know what I mean? And what's Shudder now? Like $6 a month or whatever. So, I mean, you can't beat it, really. To give this one a rating, I don't know. I'd probably give it like a 6, maybe a 6.5 out of 10. It's definitely worth a watch. If you guys have seen it, let me know what you thought of it. But I don't know. I started this movie off almost shutting it off, okay? And then by the end of it, I was like, oh, I'm fucking glad I stuck it out and watched this because I didn't hate it. So give it a shot. It's called Sorry About the Demon. I think you'll like it. If you've seen it, let me know what you guys thought of it, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we've got 3 movies left. I'm not going to dwell on these movies too long. All 3 of them aren't very good. Okay, the first movie, again, I went and saw it in the theater. How stuff like this gets a theatrical release, I don't know. It's called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I knew going into it, it was going to be shit. I just got done, and I think one of the other horror movie roundups I did, I talked about the mean one, the take on the Grinch. It's just, it was okay, but it wasn't great. And this movie, it's just, like the first 10 minutes, when we get this background of Pooh and Christopher Robin, and it's done kind of like in an animated sequence, and Christopher Robin's leaves the group with Eeyore and Piglet and all those, and then when they have to kind of fend for themselves, and they're pissed off that he left, and then they kind of get this bloodlust, and then they turn into these fucking these mutant killing fucking animals, okay? And that part was cool, you know what I mean? And then we flash back, and then it just turns in to your standard run-of-the-mill fucking slasher in the wood movies where, you get this gaggle of women, or, it can be anybody. It can be men, women, whatever. You get this group of people that come to this cabin in the fucking woods, and then they slowly get picked off. Well, in this case, it's Winnie the Pooh, right? But it could be anybody. It could be Jason. It could be Leatherface. It could be the fucking somebody from the hillside. It doesn't matter. It's all the same shit. You know what I mean? And then they try and mix it up by having Christopher Robins come back because he wants to show his I can't remember if it's his new wife or his girlfriend, to meet Winnie the Pooh, but he's been gone for 20 plus years, and he's now become a doctor or whatever he is. And Winnie the Pooh's all pissed off at him because he left. And then Christopher Robins has to deal with this killing spree that he's gone on. Oh, God. I don't know. I guess people can call it a fun flick and, whatever. If you go in drunk or stoned, you might have a good time with this movie. I couldn't get over how piss poor the fucking makeup was for Winnie the Pooh. Like, it literally looks like a overweight guy in a rubber mask. Like, he has no facial expression. His mouth can barely fucking move. And really the only thing that he does in the close-ups is drool. Now, I don't know if it's supposed to be honey or just fucking saliva, but he's constantly got this drool coming out of his mouth. And I'm like, what is the fucking point of this? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, and the sad thing is that I was reading that there's a whole ton of other kids, like nursery rhymes and stories that are going to be able to become copyright free, so they'll be able to use the names in the very near future. So, I mean, we've already got two movies that are shit. The mean one, which is the takeoff of the Grinch, and then this one, Winnie the Pooh. Like, there's going to be a whole bunch more come down the pipeline over the next couple of years. So, I don't know. I hope they up the ante, but this was just your run-of-the-mill fucking slasher in the woods movie. Only it's with Winnie the Pooh to draw you in, and it's like you'll get halfway through it, and you'll be like, what the fuck am I doing here watching this? So anyways, if you've seen this movie, let me know what you think. It's not good. It's really not. Okay, I got two left here. Listen, okay, so the next movie is Carnifex. I'll read the synopsis. An aspiring documentarian and two conversationalists who venture into the outback to record the animals displaced by bonfires or bushfires where they discover a terrifying new species. Okay, well there's three of them. They're going in to the outback, again, to document what I just told you. Now, this is a low budget, okay? And I get that. And it's one of these movies where, well, actually, the third act isn't too bad in this movie because they do actually try and show the creature as much as they can without it looking goofy, okay? Even though there's some scenes where it does look goofy because it's just very cheap CGI. But that's basically what it is. The first act is you get a background of these three people. And, I mean, I don't know, listen, the first act is just full of like it almost feels like an actual document or a documentary, because we learned about kangaroos and trees and plants and other films, and I'm like, okay, guys, like, you know, maybe one or two is fine, but I mean, the whole conversation of the first act of this movie is more or less me being educated on the fucking, you know, the outback, and I get it, you know what I mean? Like, that's what this movie's revolves around, in nature and stuff like that, and how this creature probably could have existed forever. It got pushed out because of the brush fires and stuff, but it just kind of goes on way too long. You know what I mean? I don't know. And then after that first act, it just turns in to every other fucking horror movie creature feature where they just run around the fucking forest for another 40 minutes getting chased by this creature, and you know, some of them get away, some of them don't. You know, they bring in a couple red coat characters just so the creature can kill them very quickly, and I don't know. You know, if there's anything good I want to say about this movie is, first of all, I didn't hate it, okay, but I didn't love it. But the acting, I will say, and I actually said this to myself, the acting in this movie is fairly decent. Like, this is a lower budgeted movie, okay, full of actors and actresses that I've never seen before, but their emotion to the fear that they show towards this creature is great. Like, you don't normally get that much, you know, emphasis and emotion from like a lower budget movie like this. Once in a while you do, but it actually helped carry me through this movie. So, I mean, is it worth a watch? If you've got nothing else to watch, I would say throw it in. But it's not going to wow you. You know what I mean? It's kind of underwhelming, but it's low budget. You know, if you can find it somewhere where you don't have to pay for it, it might even be on Tubi. I'm not sure, but it's called Carnifex. Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of one of those movies. You're going to watch it, and if you make it all the way through, you're never ever going to think about it again. So, but you're not. I don't think you're going to hate it though. You know, when you finish it, it's just one of those meh kind of movies. So. And then the last movie, and I'm only to talk about this one for a second. It's called Cryptid. Okay, listen, first off the fucking hop, okay, this movie is 2 hours long. 2 fucking hours. And it feels like it's a 6-hour movie. There were so many times in this flick that I wanted to shut it off, but I thought, no, I've already made it this far. Let's just keep going. You know what I mean? Oh my God. Like, who fucking edits these movies and can't pull 30 minutes out of... There's so much conversation in this movie. And I'm all about fucking, you know, character building and background and stuff. But there's so much fucking dialogue in this movie that doesn't need to be in there. And there's hardly any payoff at the end of this movie. It's just... Let me read the synopsis. A small rural town in Maine is shocked as a mysterious animal leaves a local residents brutally ripped apart. Deemed to be a random bear attack by town officials, freelance journalist Max Frome suspects it might be something more. Okay, well, Max Frome, again, is this freelance journalist. And basically, all he does for the entire movie is he just digs. He digs to try and get more information from the sheriff or from the coroner, and then we go around and see him interviewing people that may have seen this creature, and it just fucking drags, okay? You don't care about this character at all because he's so fucking annoying. You know what I mean? And you hardly ever see the creature. It's one of these movies where I think they went with less is more simply because, I mean, they didn't have the budget to show the creature a lot. And the final act of this movie, if you can make it to that point in this 2-hour fucking movie, if you can make it to that point, you're waiting for this payoff, because a lot of times these lower budgeted movies will save the money and then save it to the end where they can give you some sort of bang for your buck. There isn't one. It's just, like, I don't want to ruin it for you or tell you what happens, you know what I mean? But it's just, this feels like a made-for-TV movie that should have been made for TV and then cut into like a mini-series, like a 3-part series, because that's what it fucking feels like. And it just drags on forever. It's disappointing scene after disappointing scene, and then the final payoff is it's a dud. Oh, I don't know how I made it through it. I honestly don't. In fact, if I remember correctly, I think I shut it off or put it on pause 2 or 3 times because I had to get up and walk around just to kind of refresh and then come back down and sit down. So anyways, it's called Cryptid. Listen, if you've seen this one and you made it all the way through, let me know and then give me your thoughts on this one as well. So anyways, guys, that's 5 movies for you. Really, you only need to watch 2 because the other 3 are fucking garbage. But listen, watch The Leech, okay? Fantastic fucking movie. I absolutely loved it, okay? If you've seen any of these movies, as I've said before, let me know what you think of them, guys. I got lots more coming. Man, oh man, it was a creature feature. It was a disappointing month for creature features, let me tell you. So, yeah, let me know what you think of these guys. And until next time, stay scared.